Do people care about spoiling things anymore? Well, in general, yes, but I've seen an annoying amount of groups just throwing out spoilers with no regard for who will see it. I'd bet we've all seen a thumbnail, a title, or just scrolled across a short that announces a spoiler for something that just came out, and the issue is that you basically have no chance to avoid this kind of spoiler, because the only way to know it is a spoiler is to read said title or look at the thumbnail and understand that this is something you didn't want to know. But it's even more egregious nowadays when the studios themselves putting out the media decide that it's not a big deal and just show off major plot points well ahead of the release. Over on the anime side of things, One Piece was ridiculous about this, putting what was effectively one of the largest revelations in the entire series in the marketing material months before it actually premiered in the show, but because it was already in the manga, I guess, they didn't care. And a big pet peeve of mine is how Disney handles the marketing for its live-action remakes. The trailers show scenes from the climaxes of the movies with the assumption that the audience has already seen the originals and are only there to relive the experience. And the topic of the artistic redundancy of a live-action remake is something for another time, but it still bothers me that many viewers who never saw the originals, maybe they were just too young or just passed it by, may not get the full experience that story deserves. And don't even get me started on how they botched the marketing for Brave New World, making the climactic twist of the movie the central marketing pillar. And speaking of superhero movies, fans of said comics are shockingly loose-lipped about rattling off important plot points for later movies just because they are said to be adapting existing stories. For an example, the latest MCU entry, The Thunderbolts, involves a character named Bob. I didn't want to know who Bob was, but I now know who Bob is, and I haven't even seen the film yet. And some may argue, well, it's obvious, anyone in the know would have figured it out, but the issue is I'm not in the know about a lot of Marvel, and I don't want to be. I want to meet a movie on its own terms and be surprised. I don't want to know all the details of the story before I experience it. From this, you can also probably infer my opinions on people who leak scripts and try to get behind-the-scenes information for projects. Even if I end up not loving the product, I'd rather give it a fair chance to show its intended vision. I'll end on this. Recently, Marvel made a big deal of releasing the cast list for their upcoming Avengers movie, Doomsday, and it is extensive, bringing back old beloved characters and new ones. But imagine how much more exciting it would have been if you didn't know that before you sat down in the theatre. You thought you knew what was going to happen, only for your expectations to be blown away and suddenly you're ready for anything. Remember when Endgame came out and there was a social media movement to not spoil anything? Why couldn't we keep that?